Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to today's video where I will be making a detox clay hair mask. Hi, I'm Healy Means. Welcome and welcome back to my channel where we judge products, not people. If you want to know more about these clays, please check out my Ayurvedic video where I list Ayurvedic ingredients as well as clays and a few other DIY ingredients that I use when I make my own hair and body care products. So today's detox clay hair mask is going to include 4 clays: activated charcoal, white kaolin, calcium bentonite, and zeolite. The calcium bentonite and the zeolite clay are very powerful detox clays. They are very good at removing toxins and oils and greases and literally everything that doesn't belong. Activated charcoal is also very good in absorbing toxins and pulling them out of whatever they are in, so you can use it internally and externally. I add white kaolin clay because it is one of the softer and more gentler clays. It is just something to kind of balance out the extreme detox properties of the other clays. What you will need are your clays. You're going to need an empty jar, and then you're going to need some measuring tools. In today's video, I literally just have 2 spoons, one that I use for charcoal, and I always add the charcoal last because once you add that to the rest of your mix and you start scooping it around, it is very messy. So please work on a surface that you don't mind getting kind of dirty, and wear clothes that you don't mind being stained black from the activated charcoal. Here's my empty container. It's already labeled. See if you can see that. So I have already labeled it, and then I've also included the ingredients that are in the clay. This will be a base, and then when I'm actually going to use the mask, I will add additional ingredients, either Ayurvedic, other clays, botanicals, and of course liquids, and maybe some oils or essential oils. It all depends on what I'm looking for at the moment that I do the mask. I make the base dry mix, and then I add ingredients depending on how I feel or what my hair needs at that time. I'm going to start with the calcium bentonite clay. And I will probably just put a tablespoon of each. Then the zeolite clay. Now, usually when I have ingredients that might be a little chunky or not exactly smooth, I will put them in a blender and I'll blend the ingredients together to make it smooth, because when I do a hair mask, I don't want gritty or crunchy mass applying it to my head. It just makes it messy and it makes it a little bit more difficult to rinse out. So I try to get the mix as smooth as possible. But because these powders, these clays are very fine powder and very smooth, I don't have to put them in a blender. I can just put them in a container and mix it at the end. Now I'm going to go in with the white kaolin clay. And I have white kaolin clay, but there's also pink kaolin clay. There's yellow kaolin clay. They are similar, but they do have slightly different properties, and it is due to the makeup of the clay itself. And finally, I am going to switch spoons. I'm going to add the activated charcoal. This is 1 tablespoon of each of the 4 clays, and now I'm just going to mix it together. Be very careful because these are fine clay powders and it can get into your nose. You'll start sneezing or you'll start coughing. It'll get into your throat, so just mix it very carefully. I mix it like this just a little bit, and what I do at the end is actually screw on the lid and then just shake it up, and that works as well. But I stir it first because sometimes I'll go back in and I'll add a little bit more of one or more of the clays, or depending on the type of base mix it is, I'll go ahead and add in an ayurvedic powder or a dry botanical also. But I think for this mix, I'm just going to leave this like it is with these 4 ingredients. And then when I actually make the clay, I'll add whatever additional ingredients I want to at that time. So mixing it together, you'll see it's coming to kind of like this dark gray. But see, I haven't mixed it all the way through. You saw some of the other clays coming through. And you just want to mix it well, so when you actually make your clay mask at the time. And what I do is I make those masks in a different container. I don't ever add wet ingredients to this base mix. I put this base mix in a small bowl or a separate container, and then I add the ingredients. That way your dry mix is always ready and available. You don't have to worry about it going bad because you've added wet ingredients to it, and it will last forever. I mean, these are clays, right, that are already hundreds of thousands and million years old. So they won't go bad on you. They won't go rancid. You don't have to worry about that. Not for the clays. Now, when you're working with Ayurvedic ingredients, even the dry mix that I did make in another video that'll post either right before or right after this one, I do have some botanicals in there, and even though they are dry ingredients, it is something that I will definitely use within the next, I would say, 2 to 3 months. I think the longest that I've stretched it out was 6 months, and I didn't have any problems or issues with it. But that mix does include dried flowers and other botanicals that I just don't want to, you know, have sitting around for too long. But I do also make all of my mixes and I put them in airtight containers, and that helps also to keep it fresh. Here is the final result. And this is my Detox Clay Hair Mask with activated charcoal, calcium bentonite clay, zeolite clay, and white kaolin clay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notifications bell, and share with everyone you know. Be safe, be well, and be blessed. Until next time.